Nobody wins when the family feels.
34th birthday today. You would have been 34 years old.
He still is.
And
Right.
we thank everyone for being out here today, myself and my husband. We thank all of our family and friends for coming out and helping us to join. And also, as we're celebrating his birthday today, we're advocating, seeking, and praying for justice and praying for the people in East St. Louis, Illinois, because we know they know what happened to my son and who's responsible for someone to do the right thing and just come forward with the truth and help us so that we can obtain justice for our son.
Yes.
Because you don't know the pain of losing a child, especially the senseless gun violence. So now we're going to join hands and say a prayer.
Yes, someone took a sign off of a street post, took it to my grandson's memorial and planted it in the memorial Wednesday morning. And my daughter was killed Wednesday evening. Now tell me that's random?
What did the sign say?
What's the name of the street?
35th and Brady.
35th and Brady.
What do you mean when you say a sign?
It was a street sign. They pulled
Top
up.
of a street sign, they pulled up and went and set it on my baby brother's memorial.
And
10
then,
blocks away from his memorial.
yeah.
St. Louis mother who had spent the last in downtown St. Louis.
And whoever shot my wife, God in the sea, he gonna take it, no help but God.
Alright, so check this out. Man, we got a strange, unfortunate situation we need to discuss. A St. Louis mom had lost her life while fighting each and every day for justice for her son who lost his life only a couple years before. Now we're going to go into further details later in the story, but this mom lost her life leaving work on her way home, only steps away from her car. Now in this video, we're going to talk about the details of each case alongside pay our respects to each victim. But look, I need y'all help, family. Let me know at the end. You guys feel as if though the person who's held responsible for the mom is the person held responsible for the son based on the facts? Because the family sure enough do. Also, an arrest been made. We're going to later discuss that because charges was brought a week after the mom had came to her demise. But before we run down on this one, remember, I won't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we're going to jump right to it. A father of 5 was only 31 years old when he was gunned down on May 30th, 2020. His name was Gregory Stewart, may he rest in peace. He was called to a house of an acquaintance of his in the 2400 block of Bond Avenue when he arrived to a crowd of people. A witness said an altercation broke out among the crowd as the people had left the house. Then someone jumped out of the nearby bushes and fired and shot into the crowd and took off. Stewart, the father of 5, he suffered from a gunshot wound and came to his demise the next day. So this way it get a little tricky, family. No justice still has yet to come for the demise of Gregory. On the 30th of this month, it would be going on 3 years since Gregory had passed away and there's still no arrest. But each year, his mom, his parents, his family, they would go to the site where he lost his life and put up flowers and also ask for justice for Gregory.
This couple says they won't stop until they identify their son's killer. The 31-year-old was gunned down outside of his home 2 years ago tomorrow. 5 on your side's Travis Cummings shows us how his family is remembering him 2 years later.
I wouldn't wish this pain and heartbreak on anyone.
Leticia and Paul Stewart back on Bond Avenue in East St. Louis for the second year to be a voice for their son. 31-year-old Gregory Stewart was gunned down here on Sunday, May 30th in 2020, where flowers, photographs, and teddy bears sit as the family desperately pleads to the public.
Now, witnesses told police that a fight broke out here, shots were fired, but they didn't say exactly who might have killed Stewart.
We know there were several people out here. They know what happened to my son.
The FBI has reported that approximately 40% of the nation's homicides go unsolved. This family's confidence in law enforcement is sinking.
Deep down in my heart, I feel like the Illinois State Police is not doing nothing because I haven't spoke to them but one time, and that's the time when they came to my home and told me there's nothing they could do.
Today, their community gathers to pray.
Please us where we're going.
Stewart's 4 children releasing doves, getting support from people like Skylar Parnell, who also lost a son to a gun. Now channeling her anger and heartbreak through her organization, families of gun violence.
You can't heal properly because it's constantly happening. And it's like it's all over again, your child losing it all over again. Even though it's not your child, but you relate to those families because you were once them.
Marching with a message
that the people, the community, will come forward with enough information so that these murderers can be held accountable.
So that this family can get the relief they've been looking for.
Answers and closures so that we can start our healing process.
Travis Cummings, 5 on your side.
A little over 3 weeks ago was Gregory's birthday. His family went to his gravesite, pleading for help on social media and giving him a prayer on his birthday.
34th birthday today. You would have been 34 years old.
He still is.
And
Right.
we thank everyone for being out here today, myself and my husband. We thank all of our family and friends for coming out and helping us to join. And also, as we're celebrating his birthday today, we're advocating, seeking, and praying for justice and praying for the people in East St. Louis, Illinois, because we know they know what happened to my son and who's responsible for someone to do the right thing and just come forward with the truth and help us so that we can obtain justice for our son. Yes. Because you don't know the pain of losing a child, especially the senseless gun violence. So now we're going to join hands and say a prayer.
Only 3 weeks after that video, a family had made an emotional plea after a woman was shot and came to her demise in a hotel parking garage. The reports came out that she came to her demise in a parking garage at North 9th Street outside her job in downtown St. Louis. And at this point, her family has made an emotional plea. And at this point, the East St. Louis mother of 3, who has spent the last 3 years pleading with anyone who would just listen to help find her son's killer, has become the murder victim. The police had identified the victim as 56-year-old Leticia Stewart, may she rest in peace. She was an employee at the Marriott Hotel in downtown St. Louis and was found shot multiple times behind her car. Her husband had quoted, "She was leaving her job and they shot her 3 times. Whoever shot my wife, God gonna take care of you," quoted by Paul Stewart. Now, authorities claim that the victim was gunned down at around 6 p.m. Her husband said she worked for the Marriott Hotel in downtown St. Louis for 20 years, and he wanted the government caught. Next day, 2 more people got shot in that garage after they was robbed. But before we even talk about that, immediately after Mrs. Stewart had lost her life, the family had this to say.
Yes, someone took a sign off of a street post, took it to my grandson's memorial and planted it in the memorial Wednesday morning. And my daughter was killed Wednesday evening. Now tell me that's random?
What did the sign say?
What's the name of the street?
35th and Brady.
35th and Brady.
What do you mean when you say a sign?
It was a street sign. They pulled
Top
up.
of a street sign, they pulled up and went and set it on my baby brother's memorial.
And then
10 blocks away from his memorial.
yes.
Now check this out. The next day, 2 more people were shot and robbed in that garage. But I got a question. You think if somebody had just took the life of someone the day before, they'd go back on the scene and rob somebody else and shoot them again? Authorities think so, but the family don't. Not to mention, nowhere in Miss Stewart report that it indicated that she was robbed. But going on a week later, authorities were released that they made an arrest for the downtown St. Louis parking garage killing, and family thinks the woman was targeted.
Tonight for the man charged in 2 shootings at a downtown St. Louis parking garage. Deshaun Wilson is now charged in an attempted robbery inside the garage at the Marriott St. Louis Grand Hotel. He faces 1 count of unlawful use of a weapon, armed criminal action, unlawful possession of a firearm, resisting arrest with a felony. Wilson is also accused of killing Leticia Stewart last Wednesday night inside the garage. The next night, police say he returned and shot and wounded 2 men. Wilson was arrested Friday after he allegedly tried to rob a couple in the garage.
Just to throw that out there, they say he's accused of taking the life of Miss Gregory, but he ain't charged for her life. As you see, these 4 charges do not say murder. So either authorities know he ain't got nothing to do with Miss Gregory murder, or they just trying to put 2 and 2 together with no evidence. But fam, that brings me to what I asked you guys at the beginning. Before we go to the conclusion, we want to say rest in peace to the victims, I love condolences to their family. Family, do you guys feel as if though each murder was retaliation and all a correlation? Or do you feel as if though this have nothing to do with the other? If so, the facts don't even point that way. So why should we believe so? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one.